Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Prof. CK. This is All the Mod 7 to the Sky. Let's get started. Alright, so since last time we've done a few small things. We've now got a bronze hand axe and a bronze silver sword. We also upgraded the sieves to emerald and upgraded the cobble gen to diamond. So all we did for that was cobble gen surrounded by iron with an extra water and lava. Take that, surround it with gold, and with diamond. This is now the max tier cobble gen, and we can collect that quest. And also I sieved up a bunch of sand to get uranium, so we now have a uranium block under here which has a heat of 20. You see that at the top center there. So it'll make lava 5 times faster than what we were doing with the campfire. Let's see, what else did we do? I expanded the platform a bit. We'll be taking a look at this silliness later. And I added this, grass block 20, 30, about 25, 30 blocks away to get some passive mobs to spawn. They're not spawning. And I've AFK'd for a few Minecraft days and nothing is happening. We are in a savanna biome, which should work fine. So if you have any ideas of what is making this not work, it is fully lit up, let me know down in the comments. Because I was really hoping to get some cows and sheep and chickens and so forth. Magnet. So I made this advanced magnet. So we'll take a look at the recipe for that. So you start by making the magnet, which is just iron, ender pearl, lapis, and redstone dust. Things we all have plenty of now. And then upgraded it with gold, diamond, more redstone and lapis, and an eye of ender, which is just, again, an ender pearl and a blaze powder, which we're getting blaze powder from sifting. We're getting ender pearls from our philosopher's stone with iron. So there's a few different magnets in the pack. The reason I like this one is it doesn't require any kind of power or RF or anything like that, like the flux magnet does. And it's hotkeyable. So I have that bound to just turn the magnet on and off. So if we want to do anything that requires dropping, like getting into Botania or Create or anything like that, some of occultism, we don't have to worry. We can just, turn that off, stop picking up the coal. And the other thing is it fits in the charm slot, so it doesn't take up our inventory. I do have the phantom charm on me that we got from that quest because I was AFKing to try and get the passive mobs. And no luck. So today I want to do let's do one quick thing. Been doing a bunch of tinkering, Tinker's Construct, and I was talking about the attributes, upgrading this to bronze and so forth. And in order to see what is what, we want to make the Tinker Smeltering book. So all it is a book with some gold melted and poured on a casting table. To make a book, we have the vanilla Minecraft leather recipe. We only have a handful of leather. It's super valuable right now. We can use the Tinker's Construct recipe, a couple of patterns, that's just planks and sticks, and a slime block. We do have slime set up. But we also have this Farmer's Delight recipe with canvas, and I wanted to check that out. So in order to make canvas, we need a knife from Farmer's Delight. And the knife lets us harvest straw from grass. So we grab the knife. Let's grab a bit of bone meal. And did we get it? We got 5 straw. Let's do one more. All right, 8 straw, bunch of seeds, some other stuffs. And it doesn't have a durability, so I don't know why we would bother with the higher tier knives. We can do iron, diamond, netherite. I don't know if that's something unique to this pack, but so we can take this straw, go like this, and we get canvas. We can take our sugarcane, paper, book. So we grab out a gold. I might as well do this one. Take that off, make sure our auto processing is put away. So in order to cast things over items, we just have the table. We take out our ingot cast, put in the book, wait for this to melt, which should be about done. Beautiful. And right click it. Now this only takes one ingot, so we'll have one ingot left. Pour that out. But now we have the Encyclopedia of Tinkering. In here, we get the introduction, different tools, what they do, armor, so we can make Tinker's armor, but we don't get anything about the different materials we can make. So the encyclopedia needs to be leveled up. In order to do that, we need to make the other books from Tinkers. So the first book that Tinkers has, Materials in You and Puny Smelting. Those are the first two. We'll do those really quick. So Materials in You is just a book with a pattern. So let's grab some more sugarcane. We'll make another book. We'll grab a pattern out of here. Go back to our crafting station. Materials in You. Now, if we look at Materials in You, we get Tier 1 materials, tools, modifiers, further reading, and this is the instruction on how to make the next books. But if we go back to the Encyclopedia of Tinkers, it's added that Tier 1 materials. So we don't actually need this Materials in You anymore. Let's just dump it in here for the moment. We can take that off our list, that off our list. To make the Puny Smelting book, we need grout with another book. So let's grab, now let's just make some fresh patterns. We'll end up using them. Let's make some more paper. And, oops, where's our slime? And now we have another book. And we need to make a grout. Do we have some sand? We have some gravel and clay. Clay's down here. We don't need that much more grout. Let's just make one. All right, so we take our grout, we take our book, we get Puny Smelting. We open this up, and we see Tier 2 materials. Instructions for the melter, for moving fluids, upgrades, casting, all of that stuff we've talked about. If we come back to the Encyclopedia of Tinkering, go back to the front page, that's all now been added here. So we do still have to go through the progression, but it saves space only having to have the one book with all of the info in it. So let's clean up a little bit, and we'll get to the next thing for today. Alrighty, so the thing I wanted to get into today was auto resource generation. So we've been doing this by hand, taking out the cobble, hammering it up, coming over here, turning it into gravel, sand, dust, holding down right click, sieving, getting resources. That's time consuming. Just to give you the idea, let me go into the stats. If we come down here to time played, I'm 11 hours into this. You've seen 2 of those hours, I think, so far. There's a lot of time. Now, I did spend maybe 30 minutes completely AFK waiting for... Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! We have a cow and we have a starbuncle. That's awesome. Oh, starbuncle, really quick. This is something that's going to be important later when we get into Ars Nouveau. I want a starbuncle charm. Love these guys. These are awesome. So to get the Starbuncle Charm, we give him, please don't despawn. Yes. We give him a gold nugget. And we'll turn off our magnet. That's what we talked about. Pick it up. He's got it. And poof. We have a pair of Starbuncle shards. All right, we're going to store this. We're not doing Starbuncles. We're not doing Ars Nouveau right now, but having the chance to grab those early, we'll put that in here. This is not great. We're going to do something for storage very soon, I promise. All right, so that worked. I don't know why it's taken so long to work, but cow. Where were we? Yes, so auto resources. So if we look up here, I've tagged out all of the resources that can be sifted. So gravel, sand, dust we've looked at, dirt we looked at, that's how we got all those seeds. Coarse dirt, this is interesting. Coarse dirt is a way to kind of convert gravel into dirt, right? So in order to make a coarse dirt, it's 2 dirt with 2 gravel makes 4 coarse dirt. When we sift it, we get automatically a guaranteed 1 dirt, a 40% chance of a bonus dirt, and a 40% chance of getting our gravel back. So by using coarse dirt, we can use this to convert. We put in 2 dirt, 2 gravel, we're getting back guaranteed 4 dirt, and a chance at a 5th dirt, and a chance at getting one of the gravel back. So it's a way to convert gravel into dirt. It's definitely a lot faster than doing the barrel composting route. This is a little bit of semi-automation where when I have extra seeds and junk, wheat seeds, I can just throw them in here. The pipe extracts, inserts into the barrel, and then over here I've got the pipe extracting, inserting into the chest. The barrel can only take compostables. So as it finishes, it turns the compostables into dirt and then puts it back in this chest. The dirt can't go in, so it just sits there. So it's slow, but it's unattended. Where were we? Yes. So coarse dirt. I don't want to automate this. The getting the dirt, I don't think we need that much. We can always do it should it come up. The next thing, soul sand. So if we sift soul sand, we get, if we look at the higher level meshes, emerald mesh, but we get soulium dust, nether wart, gas tears, and nether quartz. Crushed netherrack we make by just hammering netherrack. And when we sift it, we get gold, netherite scrap. So this is how you actually get the netherite. Rose quartz for create, more nether quartz, and cobalt pieces. Cobalt's a really good metal for making tools with tinkers. And then once we do upgrade to the netherite mesh, we also get inferium, Certus quartz crystals, and I think that's all it added. Yeah. So that adds inferium and Certus quartz crystals. So we definitely want to do netherrack. The leaves we can sift. Now this is just everything that can be sifted. So the leaves, when we sift it, we get, so those are oak leaves, we get oak saplings. If they were spruce, we'd get spruce saplings and so forth. But we also get chance at golden apples, silkworms, mineral saplings. We're going to need at least one of those, but there's another way to get it that's a little easier than this random chance. Apples and rubberwood saplings. I'm going to take that off the list. We don't need to fully automate that. We need 1 mineral sapling ever, and then we'll get more saplings off of that as we do it. And the same when if we do rubberwood, if we get into the what's it called? The new IC2. FTB Industrial Contraptions? Yes. If we get into this, we'll need the rubber tree, the rubberwood. Not a big IC2 fan. This is basically just a modernized IC2. We might touch on it. We might not. So we can take that out. We don't need saplings, or we don't need leaves. So next we can do crushed endstone, which gives us ender pearls, platinum, and chorus flowers. The having fully auto unattended ender pearls is handy. It's a low drop chance, but you just ignore it and then they show up later. And the platinum is a useful metal. Now skystone gives us Certus quartz crystals and charged Certus quartz crystals. And you might recall we were also getting the Certus quartz out of the netherrack. 15% chance off of a netherrack, really high chance, 70% off of the skystone, but we don't honestly need that much to have a whole dedicated line. So we're going to take the skystone off. And then the last one is the basalt. Now basalt gives us skystone dust. It gives us rune from Applied Energistics. It gives us runes from Forbidden and Arcanus. It gives us amethyst shards, which notice that EMC 4096. This is one of the best EMC sources in the game. And that's relating back to the Project E, where we can, once we get the transformation table, make all sorts of good stuff. And flux dust, which we need for flux network for power distribution. You can make flux dust just by finding some bedrock, putting in obsidian, throwing some redstone, punching the obsidian, and it turns to flux dust. This is manual and annoying. This is automated. We'll do the automated way. However, it does require a netherite mesh. That's the only mesh that's strong enough to process basalt. So that will be last. We'll leave it on the list, but we might not get to it today. In order to automate the sifting, we're going to use a mod called X Machinis. And this gives us a flux sieve, a flux hammer, and a flux compactor. So let's take a look at these. The flux hammer, if we look at the usage, will turn anything we can hammer. So we can turn cobblestone into gravel, sand into dust, compressed and uncompressed, crushed andesite. So all of these different hammerable things. The flux sieve, you might have noticed it sitting up here at the top of the sieve list as we've been looking in the past. Anything that we can sieve by hand, we can just pop it into this flux sieve and it'll do the same thing. And we give it a mesh just like our manual sieves, and we get our resources coming out the other side. So if we look here, we can read the information. Flux hammer will take items from an inventory above, or we can pipe in from another side, which will be relevant, and place the outputs into an inventory in the front. Upgrades can be added. We're not going to do upgrades today, but we'll get to them soon. And then same thing with the flux sieve. Take items from an internal inventory, outputs to an inventory below. Upgrades can be added to increase the number of items, and meshes can be enchanted. So let's get started. I'm going to make these. So looking at the recipe, this is any glass pane. You'll see it's cycling. Any glass pane, blocks of iron, hopper, and a diamond hammer. And this is iron bars, a sieve, hopper, more blocks of iron. So I'm going to make those and be right back. So that's all made. I went ahead and nicked one of our sieves from over here and our mesh to make the sieve. And now I'll show you what this is about. So I've laid out space for all of the things that we're going to process. Gravel, sand, dust, dirt, we're actually not going to process. We don't need that many seeds. Soul sand, netherrack, endstone, basalt. I don't actually have soul sand, netherrack, endstone, basalt, so they're just dirt placeholders. But let's get rid of that. We're going to put that here. We're going to put the flux sieve on top. We're going to put the flux hammer. All right, I went and grabbed a quick piece of dirt. The flux hammer is a little annoying because of the direction it places. So it's going to face towards us. So I need to place it against a block. But you see it's got that chute that will push it automatically into the sieve. So we don't need to do anything other than get cobble into here. This will hammer it down into gravel. So I made an extra cobble gen. Tier 2 should be enough for now. We can always upgrade it later. And this is now pushing. Now this will automatically pull items from the top, but this cobble gen automatically pushes items to the top. So it's getting filled up with cobblestone. But you've noticed, and it's kind of in the name, it's a flux hammer, and it needs power. It needs redstone flux, and we don't have any of that. So, oh, and I also made a barrel to take the output. So we need to get some redstone flux going. In order to get redstone flux, we'll take a look at the quest. It actually tells us a really good way to start. So if we come to getting started, we can pick up these couple of rewards. But if we come here, starter power, your first generator, and it suggests making the coal generator. This is actually a really good starting generator. So we're going to need a bit of lapis. And we should have, do we have everything else we need? We're going to need some coal. We're going to need those gold nuggets. We're going to need some, let's see, what else did we need? So we can make the redstone torches. Oh, we need 2. We need to make this machine frame. We need the blue dye. So to make the blue dye, we've got some lapis. So we have our machine frame, and we have our coal generator. Now, let's test really quick. We put this down. It's got a spot for burnables. We put some coal in there. It instantly starts burning it, and it's generating us RF power, or FE. So RF was redstone flux, FE is forge energy, older version versus newer version. If you see RF or you see FE, they mean the same thing. So here, it's actually within the same tooltip at the top there. It's got 27,000 FE, KFE. It's producing 6 RF per tick. So RF and FE are the same thing. But I'm curious, we've got all this sulfur. Can you burn sulfur? Or does it have to be coal? It has to be coal. All right. So we pick you up. And we go back upstairs. And we're going to plunk you down, let's say here. Put in our coal, and it starts burning. Now, in order to get the power from the generator to the machines, we're going to need some cables. We're going to use pipes again. And we're going to make some energy pipes. Let's also grab our wrench so we can configure them. And while we're down here, let's see, can we put in blocks of coal? That would be a little more convenient. Will you take blocks of coal? You will. Okay. That will save us having to run up here as often, because that's, of course, 9 coal instead of 1. Are you still generating? You are. So let's put here, and we're going to run it across the top. The reason being, it's not super pretty, but we're going to have rows and rows of these hammer sieve set up all the way across, and that'll let us easily access all of that. Now, the pipes won't automatically pull unless we give it a right click with a wrench. Now it's pulling, power's going down, and if we look in here, power is going up. This is getting power, this has got gravel. Now when it gets to the top of this work progress, nothing's going to happen. The reason is it still needs a mesh. So we can shift click our mesh in, and it processed a gravel, and it gave us a flint and a gold piece. This barrel is not going to keep up. This is going to get overstuffed really fast. So probably next episode we'll address that. I'm going to get the rest of these set up and be right back. Show you what that'll look like when it's ready. All right, so that is now all in place. Let me take you for a quick tour. So I added a second coal generator, because these are only making 60 RF per tick, and I've got a bunch of these now all running. You see they are filling up with power. So we've got the cobble gen going into the flux hammer to make gravel, coming into this sieve. We've got take these away for a moment. We've got this one where we've got the cobble gen under here going into this hammer, cobblestone, making gravel, making sand to then sift that. And then here we have a triple setup. Cobble gen, hammer, so cobble, hammer to gravel, hammer to sand, hammer to dust, and this is sifting the dust. Now, we don't have, like I said, any speed upgrades in any of these yet, so they're not fast, and it will eventually back stuff. So we're going to let that run for a while. And then here, we've got space for our soul sand, netherrack, endstone, and basalt. But we don't have a way to make those yet, so we're going to get to that shortly. And this is good news. Getting the mob spawning, the passive mobs. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at getting the soul sand made. So in order to make soul sand, we have fluid item transformation. We're going to put sand, any kind of sand, into a barrel with witch water. We've already seen how to make witch water, and I moved that over here and I set up several of them. So I've got some mycelium underneath barrels with water, and we can use this with our sand to make soul sand. Doing this one by one is going to be incredibly time consuming, and we're not going to do that. We're going to automate it. So we already know how to automate sand, so let's get that going. And we're going to automate water. Best way to automate water is using a sink. So a sink is a really cheap recipe, terracotta, iron, water bucket. So let's grab a water bucket. Let's grab some terracotta. I already smelted this up, just clay, smelted. We've got some iron in the system. And we have a sink. Sink is infinite water. Now in order to get the water, we need to do some more pipes. So let's do add pipe, fluid pipes. We'll make a set of those. And we're going to come over here. So we see this guy's empty. And we'll do it, we'll do it right here. So I'm going to knock that out. I'm going to pop the sink down here. I'm going to hopefully not fall off. Good job. And if we grab our wrench, which I should probably just start keeping on me, give it a right click, and it's pulling water, and you saw this completely filled with water, and it's converting to witch water. If we grab some more sand, whoops, did it too fast. It will not let the sand go in until after the conversion is complete. So that's useful to know. So let's make some sand. We're going to do the same thing that we did up here. I'm going to set that up really quick and be right back. And we're back. So let me show you how we've got this set up. So again, same things we just did. Made a cobble gen going into a flux hammer. So that's hammering down the cobble to make gravel. Gravel's going in here. Now I did turn this to face this side, and that is hammering sand. And I connected item pipes, same thing we've used before. And give it a shift right click, pulling out the sand and putting it into the barrels. Now what are we going to do from here? Alright, so let's grab some more item pipes, and we'll get that soul sand pulled up from the barrels into the sieve. So we're going to connect it, and I'm going to start at the top and go down because I want to make sure we disconnect from the flux hammer and from this barrel before we connect it to the barrels downstairs. So we go like this, come over here, put all of these down and do the same thing. We want to disconnect here, we want to disconnect here, and then we'll go ahead and connect here. It's a little getting into the dire wire, but it'll work for what we're trying to do right now. So now we can set that to extract, and you see it pulled out the soul sand, refilled the water, starting to convert to witch water again. And we'll see as it converts, automatically pops into sand, so fast we can't even really see it. Turns the sand into soul sand and pulls it up top. If we go up top, we'll see that we've got our soul sand coming in from that pipe, filling this up. It's going pretty quick, faster than this sieve can keep up. Again, upgrades will come later. And what have we got so far? Oh, bunch of nether quartz, soulium dust, nether wart, and we will get gas tears given time. In fact, I'm going to give that a moment and see what we get. Alright, I've let this run for a bit. We've got a whole lot of quartz, some more soulium dust, nether wart, and we finally got a gas tier. So it is working. Really slow on the gas tier, but we are set for nether quartz. I think that's going to be it. So we'll come back next time, we clear this off, and we'll take a look at the netherrack, the endstone, and the basalt, because that's a whole different setup. And we'll see if we can get into the flux compactor, because yeah, like we said, this is completely full. These barrels are just not going to do the job, so we'll have to get inventory sorted. Let's call that an episode. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, ideas, let me know down in the comments. Thank you very much for coming along, and I will talk with you next time. Bye-bye.